I have no silver, no diamonds or gold, but I am far richer by the visions I hold. 'Cause I've seen the mountains, and I've seen the sea. I've seen all that beauty and lived a life that was free. When the cool autumn moonlight shines down through the trees, no place under heaven would I rather be, where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home. And when I am weary and it's time to rest, please take this old body to the place I love best, somewhere on that mountain. Turn my face to the sea and let the wind in the treetops sing me to sleep. 'Cause I've seen those mountains, I've been to the sea, and all of that beauty is like heaven to me, where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home, where the wild birds are flying and the caribou roam. Many places I've rambled, but this is my home.
Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have Boat Building, Sand and Sea Festival, MHA, Town Council Report. Please stay tuned for these stories after this.
So you two must be very proud of Johnny. Well, we sure are.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
So is he working at the dealership?
No.
Yes, he is.
Oh, right, the dealership. Yeah, he just started there, and
Actually, it'd been about 6 weeks.
has it been that long?
What's he doing down there?
Well, you know, he does a bit of the, Helen, what do you call it?
Detailing?
Right, detail. Right. He loves washing those cars.
Actually, Tom, he hates washing cars. He just thinks it's a good place to start until he can move into sales.
Ah, well, that's my Johnny, huh? Forward thinker.
He graduates next year?
No. See, he still has a couple of,
Yes, he does.
Oh, Johnny. Yeah, sure. Johnny graduates next year.
Need to get closer to your family?
Larry, what about your kids? You have kids, right? Somebody you can talk about, no?
Give your family everything. Give them your time. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Mr. Curtis Bungay has been busy over the winter and spring months, rebuilding another sailing ship. He has been at this boat since November of last year. He had to slow down some since his accident. Thank you to Mr. Bungay for showing us his work. The 18th Annual Sand and Sea Festival began on Thursday of this week. Due to rainy weather, it had begun at the arena. Doris Pink opened the ceremony.
I certainly want to welcome you to our Sand and Sea Festival, the 18th Annual. We apologize for the bad weather today, but we're guaranteeing that we're going to have good weather Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we can put up with one foggy, mozzie old day. But we can't really complain because we've had such wonderful weather in July. Anyway, welcome from the entire Sand and Sea Committee, and now I'd like to call on Mayor McDonald. Mr. Mayor.
On behalf of the community, I'm proud to bring you on the welcome you all this evening in the official opening at the 18th Annual Sand and Sea Festival. For those out of town, I certainly like to welcome you here to our community, and I hope you enjoy your stay. MHA, Mr. Parsons, welcome, I guess, to the first Sand and Sea official opening. And I wish everybody have an enjoyable weekend. Your Sand and Sea Committee has a great list of events lined up for you again this year. So I hope everybody take part and enjoy the weekend. Myself, I'll be tomorrow night at the fireworks and street dance, and Saturday I'll be back here to try my foot on the stick. And before I go, I want to thank our Sand and Sea Committee. They worked hard over the year again. It's all volunteer, as you're aware. And I appreciate what they do for this community in keeping this annual Sand and Sea event alive and going. And hopefully they can do that for many years to come. So that's all I have to say to you this evening. I just want you to enjoy yourself. And it's a time when you can meet your whole friends and certainly make new ones along the way. And once again, enjoy yourself and may God bless.
We'll have our MHA, Andrew Parsons, he's strolling across there. Mayor McDonald said he wanted the Sand and Sea Committee to be on the go for a while. Looks like we got a recruit. You see the color he's wearing? Looks like he wants to be on the committee. But anyway, here we are, MHA, Andrew Parsons.
Great to be here and to bring greetings on behalf of the province as the MHA for Burgeo Lapoil. I want to thank the committee and the town for the invitation to be here. First thing I want to say is there's no truth to the rumor that I brought this weather down here. There's absolutely no truth whatsoever. But if when I leave the sun comes out, then I'm going to probably have some trouble the next time around. But a little bit of rain's not going to stop this party. It's great to see so many people here, and I'm sure we're going to have a fantastic weekend. And I think a lot of that goes out to the committee for all the hard work that they do. But it also comes down to the people in town, the people coming from away. It's so great to see you here. Take some time to see some old friends and make some new ones. Enjoy everything that's here. There's going to be some great music, definitely going to be some great food, and hopefully the kids all have some fun. And main thing is have fun but be safe. So great to see you here. Hope to talk to everybody throughout the weekend. Take care and have a good one. Thank you very much.
Moving right along, I think Judy Aylward, is she here yet, I wonder? I told her it only going to take her an hour and 45 minutes drive down from Stephenville. Perhaps she drives slowly, I don't know. But we'll move on, and if she comes here, because that's Judy Foote's representative, and she was supposed to speak. So we'll put her on whenever she comes. In the meantime, we have young Mr. Mercer, young Brady Mercer, and Brady has written a song for our festival, and he's going to come up now and perform for us. So Brady Mercer, wherever you are.
I wrote this song a long time ago, and, well, not that long ago. But it wasn't, I don't know why I wrote it. I don't know what it's about. I just wanted to write a song. And then I changed it to metal, like a metal version. Now I'm trying to play the original version again. So, see how it goes. Hopefully I don't forget any lyrics, because I always do that. I've been wandering for days. I've been rambling my time away. I've been walking down this winding road, and I'm searching for something that I can hold. In the darkness we would find. In the darkness we would find. Come together now, bringing me back home. Trying to find her, but I'm running through the world alone. Bringing me back home. Standing here feeling oh so alone, yeah, oh so alone. In this lonely desert I'm bound to stay. Nothing in my heart could ever get me to stay. Weary traveler that I tried to be, and it's all that I just wanna see. Oh, and in the darkness we would find. In the darkness we would find. Last little glimpse of light. Bring me back, bringing me back home. Trying to find her, but I'm running through the world alone. Bringing me back home. Standing here feeling oh so alone, oh so alone. Bringing me back home. Bringing me back home. Bringing me back home. Bringing me back home.
Nice big cut. Good going. Thank you. Okay, down the stairs, out to the door, and release your balloons.
Our MHA, Mr. Andrew Parsons, came by the studio to have a chat with us. Good evening. In our studios tonight, I have with me our MHA, Andrew Parsons. Good day, sir.
Great to be here. Good to see you again.
I'm glad you're back. So what brings you down this way again this time?
Well, the obvious reason is I'm down for the Sand and Sea Festival. Just got down here on Wednesday and plan taking all the events, or as many events as I can. Looking forward to the opening and going out to the beach and to the suppers, and just looking forward to talking to everybody and having a chat again. It's been I haven't been down now since the house closed, so it's a good chance to get down when the weather's nice and be able to get around and take my time.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So what's on the go now?
Well, there's been a lot on the go, depending on the area. One of the big things, obviously, that I've been dealing with, which is a provincial issue, but is really hits us here, is the job creation programs, or JCPs. I've been in the paper on it and done open line on it. Just to give people a background to that, JCPs are a government program where it gives a person an opportunity to get the work experience and form some skills, and usually it's through a project that's received by, say, a town or an organization for a specific project. A lot of them these days have been attached to, say, trails or restoration projects or work projects. And JCPs can be anywhere from some are 10 weeks, some are right up to a year. And it used to be a program that was done by the federal government, but back 2 or 3 years ago, the province took it over, agreed to run the program, and took all the money from the federal government to do it. And it was part of I guess a greater thing called the Labor Market Development Agreement. JCP was just one part of that. And usually, it's for the entire province. It's anywhere between a $13-14 million project per year.
Okay.
Our district during the last round actually got the second most in the province. We received $631,000 worth of projects, which was great. I was very happy with. My problem is just in how long it takes to get it. That round actually took 10 weeks. That's how much extra time it took to get these projects out. And that's a big concern for me, because you get the groups that are getting the project that are waiting to see if they're going to get it or not, if they can do the project that they want to do. Plus you've got the person that's waiting to get on, not sure if they're going to get the job or not get a job. I mean, it leaves a lot of people in limbo. Now, it's run by what's now called the Department of Advanced Education and Skills. It used to be HRLE. And I've been after them now for months saying, look, make sure you do this on time. Make sure you do it on time. Because last year, they were really late in doing it. I thought it was because it was new and growing pains. So that brings us to today. This latest round, the summer round that I call it, the towns and groups had to have their proposals in by May 4th. They were supposed to get their announcement by June 15th. Now, we're almost at the end of July, and we still have not gotten any word on these projects. And it's completely disgusting. I'm absolutely disappointed. I wish I could use stronger language right now on how disappointed I am with the government on this. And they've come up with a number of pitiful excuses why it hasn't been done. And they came out and said, well, actually, there's no formal deadlines here. We'll get them done when we get them done. But that's false. That's not true. They have a website that has the deadline process and lays out all the timelines. And now, what I've said to them is that if there's no such deadline, then why do towns and groups have to have their paperwork in by a certain date, or else they're not considered? Government's the only crowd that doesn't want to live by a deadline. Then they say, well, it's taking them some time. But this is not a new process. It's something they've been through. And again, we're dealing with money that was given to us by the federal government. It's money that should be there, sitting there. So I've gotten to thinking over the last number of days and weeks, there's more than meets the eye here. At first I thought it might have just been incompetence, but when you get to being a month and a half, or getting up around 7-8 weeks late, it's more than that. The second part is that I had this theory that maybe they're actually making the process so bad that groups will not apply in the future. They're trying to wean people off by making it so hard to get a JCP that groups will not apply, and that way they'll reduce the number that way. The third part is the part that really scares me, and that's in light of the announcements by the Premier lately about how the deficit we're going to have. I've got a fear that they've got the money spent elsewhere, that they've shifted that money from this department somewhere else, and that's why they don't have this done. And the problem I have is that, and I've said this to the minister, I've said this to the department, I've said it in phone calls, emails, in newspaper articles. I have a letter to the editor that's ready to come out this weekend. And I haven't gotten a sensible answer yet. So if I'm wrong, if my theories are wrong, then tell me. But they haven't been able to tell me, so we're left wondering what's going on here. It's not that complicated, yet they've shagged it up beyond belief. And the thing that's really disappointing is that this round of projects is mainly used for tourism. Right? We've got, you look at the Sand and Sea Festival, it's just one tourist, attraction. You've got the Cape Ray Lighthouse, you've got the Rose Blanche Lighthouse, and it also goes to help towns. Some towns do tidy towns projects or get extra workers on to help clean and beautify. And, again, the government themselves says, oh, how important tourism is. But they're not putting the money on the ground for when people get here to get the services that they deserve. They're relying on volunteers to get this done. It's unacceptable. So, as you can tell, I've been very frustrated about that. I'm at my wit's end, really, trying to get that dealt with. It's, again, we've been waiting since June on this. So that's one thing that's going on. But another thing that's going on, which is actually good news, is that we just saw the tender in the paper this week now on paving that's going to be done on the Burgeo Highway.
Oh, that's excellent.
So I'm very happy about that. Again, I drove down, and I see the same issues with the road that everybody sees, especially, you've got that one spot where I've actually made fun to the minister saying, look, you can keep spending money putting signs on. Why don't you spend some money and actually put a bit of new pavement down there?
Yes,
and it seems that they've listened. And there's a tender out, so, they had to go through that process of putting the tender out and the tender being called and the work started, but hopefully we're going to see, and again, it's a very small section. My understanding is that it's going to be at that area just before Peter Strides where we have that that little pothole that everybody knows about.
Yeah, okay.
That's my understanding of where the work is going to be done, and hopefully that'll be done sooner rather than later. Is it as much as I want? No. But given the cutbacks this year and the deficit that the government has and the astronomical cost to do roads these days, something is better than nothing, and I'm very happy to get it. And I'll continue working on it. I like this strategy better than what they've done in the past, which is start at one end and put new pavement down regardless. I think you need to go to the bad spots, patch and fix those and put new pavement down, and concentrate on your bad areas first. And the road is so long. When you've got a 150-kilometer road, it's going to take a long time to get it.
Yes, for sure.
And given the number of these types of roads in the province, we know there's only so much money to go around, but that's my job, is to keep at the government, keep at the department, and make sure that we've got as best a road as we can possibly have. So that's the good news that I'm happy to talk about right now.
So what other plans do you have for the summer this time?
Well, I must say I've been very lucky, like everybody else, that we've had great weather so far, so I'm really enjoying that. I've actually been working pretty hard. I've been done a lot of traveling. I have been in St. John's. I've been all up and down Route 470 to the different communities. Okay. I've been in Deer Lake for meetings, and I'm here in Burgeo now, and I'm going to be back this way more over the summer. I'm going to go to Ramey and Grey River. So I'm trying to get everywhere.
Yes.
And see as many people as I can and work on issues. It's funny, issues, it doesn't matter what time of year, people have different issues that they need help with at all 12 months of the year, so we got to continue working on that. But on a personal note, I'm looking forward to having some time home with my family. I got a little fella that's he just turned 20 months old, so he's up and into everything, and I'm really looking forward to spending a lot of time with him and my wife and getting around and enjoying some of the weather and taking them with me wherever I can. We had a long session in the house, 4 months, so I'm looking forward to making up some of that time with the little guy and playing with him and just taking him wherever. It's just any minute with him is just a great thing. So
Yes, that would
I'm
be
hoping
perfect.
I can bring him as many places with me as I can.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Yes, perfect. So now that the house is closed, when do it plan on opening again?
Well, the latest word, again, the house is scheduled to open in the fall, as it normally does. It didn't open last year for whatever reasons. I guess the Premier lost the key to the house for all I know. But it will open in the fall. But this year is going to be a bit different as well. We might even have a separate special debate on Muskrat Falls, which was just in the news. And the hope is by that time we'll have what they call Decision Gate 3 numbers, which are the most recent numbers on the cost of this project and what it's going to involve. And so we're hoping that we don't have those numbers yet. We're hoping to have them sometime, I would presume, within the next month. We'll see what happens. Once we have those numbers, then there will be a special debate in the House that'll take a number of days. And again, we'll see where it goes. It's hard to speculate when that'll be. We're saying in the fall. That could be September, but if I were to take a guess, I got a feeling it's going to be October, November before that actually happens, because there's a lot of work that has to go into it. And more importantly, even once the work is done, is we need the time to review this information and prepare for it. So that's what we're looking at now. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's a project that everybody's heard about over and over again. But I think people really need to understand how big this is. And, you know, it was a $6.2 billion project, and I'm hearing now that it's going to be somewhere between $8 and $10 billion. So it's huge, huge money. And there's questions on the cost. There's questions on the need for the power, and there are positives that would come out of it. One being obviously the jobs that come out of it. But my issue is I don't want to sell us and our children and our grandchildren out for jobs right now, because this is something that we're financing. We're going to pay for this through our power bills. And so I have to be convinced when I go to vote for this, and we have an open vote, which means and again, open vote might mean that people, you say you can vote however you want. I don't know if that's going to happen on the government side. I don't think they're allowed to vote their conscience. They have to vote how they're told. My vote is going to be on what I think is in the best interest of the district and the province. If something is a good deal, then it's a good deal. And if it's not, it's not. But I want to weigh all the information, and there's a lot there. And as of right now, I'm not convinced that it's the right deal. I think it's a very expensive project. I think they've been very short-sighted. In fact, I think the way they've handled it, they've really mishandled this project in a number of ways. They haven't convinced the public that it's necessary. And again, what it seems now is that instead of letting people make the decision, they're forcing it on people. And so, again, I want to wait and see the final numbers before I render my verdict. But as of right now, it's not good enough. As it stands, you've got Nova Scotia that's getting the line over there that they're going to own over time, and they're going to get cheaper power than us. So I've got that's a hard sell for me. For why should we pay more for our resource than Nova Scotia pays? And I guess their version of Newfoundland Power, which is Emera, has been quoted. Their CEO has been quoted as saying that 14 cents is too expensive for Nova Scotia. But here we are right now. We know that it's going to be 16 and possibly more. So, how does that work? So that's going to dominate the airwaves in the fall. I'm looking forward to getting the information, and again, it's one of those issues that if anybody ever wants to talk or call me, by all means. I mean, we need to hear all points of view, right? There's people for it and against it. We should listen to everybody.
Exactly.
Right? Not make a decision based on just what you think. We need to know what the experts say, and there are experts on both sides, and hopefully we can make a good decision based on that. So that's what we're looking at in the fall. But in the meantime, I'm hoping to enjoy the majority of summer out in the district, at home and on the road. I look forward to being down here. I'm really looking forward to getting out to the beach, and just looking forward to talking to people. This is the fun part of the job, is when you get to come out and be around people and talk and meet new people, and and hopefully if they have issues along the way, you can help fix those issues, and like I say, that part I'm thoroughly enjoying and hasn't changed.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, hopefully you'll get to enjoy the beach and this rainy weather will clear up.
I'm hoping it will, but even if it's a bit of rain, I'm sure everybody's going to have a good time regardless.
Yes, exactly. Any other issues you want to bring up?
Nothing off the top of my head. This seems to be the big things right now that I can think of. I'm sure everybody's enjoying getting out and boat for a few fish when they can. So I hope everybody is enjoying that, but is safe. I'm hoping everybody has a safe and happy summer. I hope everybody's very careful. And what I would say to people is that, like always, if you want to get a hold of me, it's only easy. My email is andrewparsons@gov.nl.ca. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. We've got our phone number, 695-3585. We've got our 1-800 number that you can find on the website. I never seem to have it on me. It's only easy to get a hold of me. And if you call me or email me, you will get a response back as soon as possible. And that's what I would say. Feel free to call me or talk to me about anything. That's what I'm here to do. And like I say, nobody will ever have a call unanswered.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you so much for dropping by. It's always a pleasure talking with you.
Well, it's great to be here. It's a pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity again for you to have me on, and I'm looking forward to the next time already.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mayor Drew McDonald came by the studio with his town council report.
Good evening. Your town council report for July the 17th. First item on the agenda was the water treatment plant, and things that the water treatment plant has been working well. Although those minor efficiencies that I mentioned a while ago has not been repaired, we're still waiting for Fay Construction to complete that job. And until work is being done, then certainly we're not going to take responsibility of the system. Also with the water system, flushing of your water lines has been done around town. And if anybody is still picking up a little bit of dirt, then that's probably in your own lines, and eventually that will come clean as well. But for the most part, the comments that I'm getting since we've done the flushing around town, the water has been quite clear. And we're also waiting to hear back from the engineers and Fay Construction on the chlorination to be injected after the water leaves the water reservoir. That's the tank on the hill. And hopefully they will get back to us in the near future, and we can get at this work and certainly get some good water for drinking out of the taps in the community. In my last report, I mentioned the audit that was done by Bonnell Co-Janes. Bonnell Co-Janes gave us a good report on the town's audit, and each year the town gets its books audited by Bonnell Co-Janes. And at our last meeting, July 17, Mr. Janes attended the meeting and gave us a report in person and went over the items in quite detail. And he gave us a good report card for 2011. So that is good to hear. And I want to say to the councillors, the town manager, the town clerk, that we stay the course, and hopefully we can get through this without much of a tax increase in the years to come. But as you're all aware, somewhere down the road we will have to increase taxes because we have some expensive items on the way. And one, I guess, would be the waste management. And the other would be to maintain that water system and treatment plant. So we stay the course, and hopefully we can produce a good audited financial statement each year. In my last report, I mentioned the cemetery road there. Since that, we've done some work there, upgraded that road. But I took a look at it yesterday, and the road is good, is quite well. But I mean, eventually that's going to deteriorate again once we get a large amount of rain. I mean, it's just going to wash down the hill. So I still maintain to say that that road should be paved, at least the hill section of the road, and that would certainly solve the problem from the materials washing down to the bottom of the hill. The sewer project at Clogers Lane, my last report I mentioned there was a little problem with the workers'
conversation there, but that's been passed over to the town now, so we're going to deal with that, and hopefully the contractor, West Coast Excavation, will start that project in the very near future. The Berger Road, I mentioned in several council reports, each year we apply to get work done on Route 480 to the government, Department of Transportation. And this year, we also written a letter, and since the budget came down in the last month or two, I've made several calls and talked to the Deputy Minister of Transportation and the Minister of Special Assistant there. And as of a couple of days ago, we were made aware that the Berger Road will get some work done, but it's only 0.6 kilometers. I'm not saying 1.6 kilometers, I'm saying 0.6 kilometers. And that's going to be the bad spot there between Traverse Hill and Tower Hill. And I also mentioned and tried to get them to do Silver Lake, coming around the turn there at Silver Lake. That's another bad spot. Now, I'm not sure if that 0.6 will do both lots or not, but we'll keep monitoring the situation and see what happens. If they got to set up equipment and do one section, it's just well for them to do the other at the same time. If not, it will be a double expense. So we'll keep you posted on that, and hopefully we can convince the government to do a little more. And I might add with that, also in regards to roads on the west coast, well, the Berger Road, 0.6 kilometers, a road into St. Davis called Joe McGinnis Road. That's going to get a 1 kilometer. And another road in Flat Bay, yes, Route 403, is going to get 2.5 kilometers. So it's all very small jobs in road work in that area. Building Committee, at our last meeting, approval was given for the construction of 2 sheds and an extension to 1 additional shed. Waste management, meetings are still ongoing with the waste management between the 3 communities, Burgeo, Ramia, Grey Rivers, and also with the West Coast Management Board. And hopefully we can get some results in the very near future on this. Depending on the price tag, that's the name of the game. And I also want to mention, seeing my mention waste management, since my last report, there was garbage left outside of the garbage dump gate. Now, once that gate is closed, there's nobody is supposed to leave any garbage outside of that gate or anywhere in the community. If somebody got garbage, if you're coming from your cabin or wherever you're going, if you've got garbage aboard your vehicle, the contractor, Mr. Rick Braglin, said you can always just put the bag aboard his garbage truck there by his business, and he'll certainly take care of it. But I think we got to educate ourselves that we cannot be leaving garbage around anywhere, regardless of it's in front of the gate. We also had a problem with people leaving garbage in the old car dump, and that's not going to be tolerated. And I might add, even outside of town limits at Peter Strides, I noticed people has been dumping garbage into the wood roads, and this is certainly not a good practice as well. So come on, let's clean up our act and be responsible citizens and make sure that we keep the environment clean. And I got to add, you know, the maximum penalty for dumping garbage like that illegally is $10,000, and that's a good chunk of change for anybody to pay for leaving garbage around. So I just want to make people aware that we're going to be watching, and other people's going to be watching, and the proper authorities will be notified if anybody's caught throwing garbage around in any area of the community. So please take your garbage home in the garbage container, or put it aboard the contractor's truck, or take it to the garbage truck, dump when the dump is open. And we certainly want to emphasize that and make people aware that this is serious business. Correspondence. At our last meeting, there were 21 items of correspondence to deal with. And of course, the Sand and Sea Festival is underway, kicked off today, July the 26th. And first of all, I guess I want to welcome all the tourists and citizens and people that came on to visit family and friends. And I'd like to welcome them all to the community of Burgeo, the beautiful community of Burgeo, and I hope that you'll get a chance to visit the Sandbanks Provincial Park there, where some festivities will take place over the next couple of days. And hope you have an enjoyable stay here in the community of Burgeo. And of course, when you leave, tell your friends, and please try to return again next year. And we certainly appreciate and thank you for coming to our community. Thank you very much. The Sand and Sea Committee, I want to thank them for organizing the Sand and Sea, the 18th Sand and Sea Festival this year. And of course, I wish them well in the next few days. And it's all volunteer work that the committee do, and you know, we certainly, the town certainly appreciates their dedication and effort they put into this in organizing such an event. And you know, I was up there this afternoon for the official opening, and it was good to see the beavers there, the little beavers, and also our seniors in the community. And I think that the oldest person in the community attended those opening ceremonies there this afternoon, and it's certainly good to see that stuff. So once again, I want to say to the Sand and Sea Committee, hope you have a very enjoyable festival, and I know you got a lot of events lined up for the people and a lot of music organized there, so I hope everyone has an enjoyable weekend here in the community of Burgeo. The Mayor's March that be held since our last report, myself and Councillor Rick Braglin and Councillor John Krant, that's three people that had the sponsor sheets or the donation sheets. And on behalf of the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Canada, we raised a total of $304. So that was very well. And I want to thank you once again for the people who sponsored us, donated to the cause, and those who came out and participated in the walk itself. That was greatly appreciated, and we look forward to next year trying to make this a little bigger event, and hopefully we can. Hopefully more people will get involved, and it's all for a good cause. I mean, a lot of people in this community, like I said before, has had problems with heart and stroke diseases, and this funding goes towards research, and there's been a lot of research done, and there's more research needs to be done. And hopefully somewhere along the line we can save somebody's life by doing this. Thank you very much once again. As I mentioned in one of my reports there in December, I believe it was, that the Department of Transportation was going to install a camera on Burgeo Road, Route 480 in the Woodentout Brook area. Well, that camera has been installed, and that's to monitor the road conditions and weather conditions in that area. And hopefully it'll be a great asset and benefit to the residents of Burgeo or the traveling public on Route 480. And in my last report, I mentioned an individual contacted me concerning a sign, a hidden driveway sign coming in from the Point area where Small Southern Road hinders the main road there. Well, that sign is being ordered by the Department of Transportation and will be erected in the near future. And Council have ordered 5 bunker suits for our fire department. 3 of those suits which the town will pay for, and 2 of those suits will be paid for by your fire department itself. And fireworks to take place tomorrow night, or Friday night I should say, at the Manteo. The town has donated $2,500 to the Sand and Sea Committee and to supply them with the fireworks for this year. So everyone get out and please enjoy the fireworks. And at our last meeting, invoices were approved for payment in the amount of $6,911.55. Our next scheduled council meeting is scheduled for August the 15th. Thank you for listening. Good night, and may God bless.
This concludes our program for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.